Having individuals tell their stories of addiction and incarceration is another way to stop society from believing that, oh, this happens to them but not to us. Having statistics in place is one thing, but it's more difficult for a policymaker to look in the eye of an individual who has actually experienced the various systems and have struggled to make amends and is still denied opportunities. It's hard for that policymaker to look in that person's eye and say no. Very often when you're in a community where an individual is suffering from a mental illness, in order to deal with it, they become dependent on drugs. So that's where the addiction comes in, whether it's prescription drugs, whether it's illicit drugs. Many individuals self-medicate and engage in the use of substances that cause them to be addicted. In an effort to support their habit, they may engage in some type of illegal activity. And so there's a direct connection between addiction, maintaining that addiction habit, and incarceration. If we can address the mental illness at the beginning and help individuals cope better, then I think we can stop them from going into a lifestyle that will lead them into homelessness, incarceration, and addiction. There are a large population of individuals in our state's jails and prisons who are there for drug offenses. Many of them are there for drug possession. And many of them who are there for drug possession are also addicted. Drug addiction is, in our view, a chronic disease that requires some treatment, and the criminal justice system is not equipped to provide the treatment that's needed. Our laws give judges really no discretion. Judges are usually there to consider the facts and have a sentence that is specific to the facts. Well, with these mandatory sentencing laws, judges have no choice but to require a 10-year sentence, a 15-year sentence. So if you have all these things in place where you're recovering from an addiction, you have a criminal record, finding employment is challenging because an individual with that background is not as attractive to an employer. Prisons are full, and everyone is thinking about how to reduce the cost of incarceration. In Maryland, it costs about $33,000 per person per year to incarcerate a person. Certainly, in these hard economic times, we can think of better things to do with the funding. If you really refer many people to drug treatment instead of incarcerating them for drug addiction, it's much, much less.